2017, as I said, was a long time ago. What are some of the other risks that you see have been on the rise that were just not even on your list of problems back in 2017?
So I guess 2017, that's over half a decade ago, which in my lifestyles, in my industry feels like probably a century ago, 100 years in terms of evolution. So what we've seen from a risk perspective, we pretty much knew the future was going to be rough. More people were going to use technology. We never foresaw an invasion of a country, obviously, which changed our risk landscape, because where we had before purely sort of state actors, organized criminals, we're now seeing volunteer groups wanting to attack infrastructure without understanding the full context. We're seeing the drain on people. So we didn't know COVID was going to come when we spoke in 2017. COVID came December 2019. That changed the workforce. We didn't think that we would have each person's home being a branch of our office, which effectively is what happened. We didn't think about how people will securely destroy documents at home. You know, we provided office shredders. We didn't think about the fact that kids will come on people's laps during conversations. There will be partners who work in competitors living in shared spaces. You know, we didn't foresee inflation. And of course, inflation, although it's very financial, well, we pay for all our products and security services in foreign currency. It runs in someone else's data center, also known as the cloud, consuming electricity, power, staff. We probably foresaw a skill shortage. What we didn't foresee was the burnout and the mental drain the long haul has on people, because the battle is relentless.
I'm glad you said that because I've talked to a few people in cybersecurity, and that theme keeps coming up. We're just, our people, it's a battle, right? And we're all battle weary at this point.
Yeah.
As you think about that, how is that going to affect decisions in your company over the next couple of years?
So to be honest, I do think about that quite a lot, and that actually keeps me up awake at night, because I have a lot of friends who serve in the military globally, and that's always normally 6 months. You go to battle for 6 months, you come back home, you have your decompression period. Well, before you come back home, you go and decompress somewhere else, and then you come back home to properly decompress. And one of the things which we're thinking about is how can we sustain the increased threat profile for the foreseeable future. Now, we are looking at artificial intelligence. Every company will tell you they're looking at artificial intelligence and machine learning. However, I don't foresee that in the immediate sort of near term replacing human beings. I see that as augmenting human beings and allowing me to do more for less, because the volume of work has increased. So where I need people, how do we augment that? We're also seeing accountabilities in business being taken seriously. So here at Arqiva, for example, the board regularly discuss about cybersecurity. You know, they ask their people, they want to make sure it's in people's objectives. People are held accountable. And I remember probably when we spoke 5-6 years ago, whenever people ask me the question, how big is your team? I like to give them the answer of my organization's entire workforce, because those are all defenders. So this is more the way I see us doing things differently, is adopting the shared responsibility model more, spending time to educate people, at the same time upskilling people, because the way they do that job today is going to change. You look at ChatGPT, for example. Yes, it produces gobbledygook. However, one could argue that gobbledygook is 20-30% of what's needed. And if you're not a business who's striving for perfection in everything you do, because you will fail if that's what you strive to do, then you can invest effort to polish up the 40% or 50% delta to make it 80% unpassable. So really, it's looking at A, how can we use technology to augment people? B, how can we recruit more people from within the enterprise to be security champions? How can we get that further into the customers and the supply chain? Because it's an ecosystem, and Arqiva play only one part of it. Be that you want a ground station with us, we can give you that. You want a fully managed satellite data service, we can give you that. So it's looking at how do we help the industry solve that problem? Because if you look at it at scale, if we've got the challenge, I can guarantee you everyone else has a similar challenge. So how can we look as a business beyond profits and more become a responsible business to look at delivering societal good, both from a sort of inclusion perspective, so having more diverse talents, reaching out. I look back at things from World War One, World War Two, and I look at in the UK when the women went to the shops, for example, tech is 80% men, 20% women. So that's a workforce. Can I be more flexible? Can we start looking at properly part-time jobs, job shares to bring back a different demographic and fathers who want to be more present in their family's life? Because COVID has made the entire world reflect on how they live their life, and people now want new things. So yeah, that's kind of my summary in what's keeping me up awake at night and what I'm doing about it.